Chef Christian, two-parter for you to get started. How are you today? And what can you tell me about that wonderful box next to you besides it being almost sold out?
Um, First of all, I'm well. Thank you for asking. So nice of you to ask. How are you? Um, Good, good.
Non-stop.
So
Good. Yeah.
it'll be better if you had some of this Ragu Hot Ones collab, limited edition. So we got three flavors, 14 ounces each. We got fiery garlic, chipotle blaze, and chili inferno. And they range from hot, hotter to hottest.
So Chef Christian, are these sauces for wings or are there a lot other usages and intentions beyond that?
I mean, you can use it for wings, but these are way beyond wings. There's so much that this collaboration is meant for. The culinary team at Ragu developed these sauces with Heatonist and all the stuff at Hot Ones because we could make pastas, we could make lasagnas as a pasta, we could do sandwiches, all the sandwiches you could do. Besides chicken parm, there's all the vegetarians, an eggplant parmesan, money. There's you can just keep going. So many ideas, so many recipes, but sorry, and so many recipes. So, I mean, if you check out raguxhotones.com, there's recipes that include these sauces on there.
Right. And this is a very unique offering from the Hot Ones team. Not the first time there's been store sold sauces, but the first of this magnitude that's a collaboration. How long did you have to keep it a secret for that this was coming down the line?
So I had to erase it from my memory because I keep wanting to talk about it. I wanted to try it out on dishes and then tell people like, yo, you gotta. No, I mean, it's hot. Just don't worry about it. It's good. Just
Right.
wait. But I
Right.
mean, I'm glad it's out now. Secret's out. Sauce is available limited time, so some of the shelves are already gone. So get it while you can.
Sure. Are you maxed out on compliments today, or you still have time for a few of them?
Dude, I got space. I got space. Fire away.
Okay, so growing up as a kid, a chef was just a person in a kitchen, in a restaurant, a catering place, etc. And watching your growth on social media, of course, a lot of that is through the First We Feast, seeing that you have endorsements because there's the Thon charcoal and all that kind of stuff. You have this multifaceted career where people not only love your food, but they love your personality. What was the jumping off point of the springboard from you being just dude in kitchen to broadcaster?
I mean, I think going back, being in the kitchen was always, hands head down, just cutting, cooking, just
Hmm.
on the line. But then I've developed this personality where my chef didn't want to deal with the customers, so I was forced to go out and deal with them anyway. So I've um, developed the hospitality aspect as a sous chef growing up in the kitchen, and then that developed into being like a general manager at a restaurant. So I was very hands-on, always, a personality with our clients and our customers. Also, being Filipino, we're like the capital of hospitality.
Sure. And another thing that's changed over time, 20 years ago, wings was just seen as a comfort food. It was never a high class thing. It was not a thing that you bragged about eating. And now you're kind of at the epicenter of comfort food being great. When did you start to see the tide turn where you could now brag about wings?
I mean, see, I've always had the privilege of bragging about wings. Back in the day, my cousins and I would go to certain like wing joints and have our own personal wing eating competitions. I've taken first a couple times, no big deal.
Congrats.
But I think the thought of wings as a comfort food, or even before that comfort food, wings have just always been good. I grew up on teriyaki chicken wings, spicy wings. Only up until maybe 10 years ago, I've had my first lemon pepper wing, and that changed my life for sure. Um, but I've always remembered being a flat guy. Never, I mean, drums are cool, but flats are where it's at.
Now, I mentioned before watching your social media, I really enjoyed the video where you presented the burgers to Elijah Wood. I know a lot of people saw that, and you showed that you do a lot of different kinds of cuisine, making a pizza inspired burger, for example. What was your initial specialty? Because you mentioned sous chef, where you have to learn a bit of everything. Now we pigeonhole you to wings, but what was the initial specialty?
See, I don't even think I specialize in wings per se, but that is the number one question that any chef will yet from anyone. It's like, what's your specialty? What's your go-to food? And it's it's harder than it sounds. I enjoy cooking lots of cuisines. I enjoy using different techniques. Currently, I think my specialty right now is hot and fast. I love grilling, high heat. I love like the skewer, hence the whole thing with Ton Charcoal. I love using their product. I love spicy. Love spicy. I've never had a time where I didn't want to add spicy to a food. I actually have um, memories of just dousing dishes in hot sauce and then losing some of, and I had to tone it down because I lost a lot of the flavor of the actual dish. So develop spicy flavors, but as a specialty, oh, as a chef, that's a hard question. But I want to go and say just overall across the board, savory food. I am very impatient when it comes to pastries or anything dessert like. So anything that has to do with flavor and savory, sign me up.
Did you originally do all the French style culinary arts?
Yeah, so I went to Le Cordon Bleu in Pasadena, and the basic French techniques were pretty much the forefront of everything I needed to learn. And you know, you pay so much for culinary school, but it's really just the basics because then you're gonna learn all of it from all the restaurants you work at, all the places you visit, all the restaurants you eat at. And so it's a part of me to absorb everything I've eaten and I've cooked in other places and incorporate that into whatever I'm making for first week feasts, for home, for my kids, or just for my personal experience.
You said Pasadena. When I think of Pasadena, I think of Van Halen and I think of the Rose Bowl. I didn't know that Le Cordon Bleu was based in Pasadena. Is that one of the
I
main
don't know.
campuses?
I don't know if it's based in Pasadena. I think because I'm a SoCal resident or was a SoCal resident, that was the school to go to. That was the culinary school that you had to go to if you wanted to make it. Unfortunately, it's no longer in Pasadena. I don't know if there is Le Cordon Bleu anywhere else, but I what I like to tell people is I don't regret culinary school, but I don't recommend it. Just go out there, go learn, have someone go under someone's wing and just learn as much as you can, fail as much as you can, and then you'll get wherever it takes you.
And how did you wind up in the first place in the first We Feast camp?
This is all thanks to my brother, not little brother, my literal brother. This is all thanks to Alvin Kailan. You know, during the pandemic, I started learning how to smoke foods and hung out with Alvin, and he wanted to pursue what I had back then was called Bastos Barbecue.
Mhm.
And I ended up helping him out with Amboy. And while he was working at Amboy, running it, we were in the middle of filming the Burger Show. So he asked me to help out every now and then, and so I did. Eventually, it became to me becoming the culinary producer for the Burger Show, and now the culinary producer for First Week Feast in general. And now I have my own thing at Hot Ones Hot Kitchen.
Wow. So you said culinary. A lot of people try and impress you by saying culinary. Do you ever do that?
Not I don't think not once in my life have I ever said culinary until now, and it just it feels weird. Culinary.
That's along the lines of the people ordering at the Italian restaurant and mozzarella instead of mozzarella.
Prosciutto.
Yeah, exactly.
Prosciutto. No, I mean again, it's also how do you say? There's videos out there with Giada De Laurentiis and how she speaks a regular accent, and then all of a sudden she says an Italian word, her whole thing changes. Mozzarella, and I like to say prosciutto. It's like okay, volcano. I don't know.
The gabagool from The Sopranos is one.
Dude, I love I love saying gabagool. I actually taught my kids how to say all of the cold cuts they eat, from mortadella to actual capicola. They call it gabagool for the culture.
Not my fault, but back to here, a couple of questions about you, the human being. So this partnership where the Ragu Hot Ones collaboration, again, limited edition, not long term. Of course, we can hope for a second edition, but what else should we be looking forward to from you? Are you allowed to say, or are you under a bunch of embargoes and,
Oh no. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, now that Ragu and Hot Ones limited edition sauces are out,
Mhm.
um, I've made recipes with the ingredients, with the bottles. Each sauce has a different pretty much key role in some of the recipes I've developed. And actually, when you order, I believe they send you recipes that come with it. You know,
Oh,
boom,
right
boom.
there, the special sauce, the Michelada.
Look at
Okay,
that.
Fuego beef, bologna pizza. Wow, barbecue.
All of
Wow.
them, you know, and it's so yeah, no, I remember so starting with the first one, fiery garlic.
Mhm.
So starting with the first one, fiery garlic, I developed because of the garlicky and the sweetness of Fresno. I immediately thought a chicken parm. So when you're thinking game day eats, you don't really want a whole sub. I mean, some people do,
Yep.
but so with like a nice Hawaiian roll, a whole platter of them. We just made some pull apart sliders with the hot. It's the first level. It's our hot ragu and hot ones collab. Then with the second one, the hotter level, we made we incorporated the sauce into a barbacoa. So we braised some beef cheeks and a little bit of chuck, and made this nice tender, fatty, and it complements with the chipotle and the sweetness of the tomato, a little bit of umami there. And we made a bacon wrapped hot dog loaded with barbacoa. So that it went from hot, and now hot. It went from hotter. Now we're talking about the hottest sauce of the bunch. I
Right.
did it's almost in order to showcase how spicy it is. I didn't want to necessarily implement it in everything, so we decided with like an appetizer platter. So we did meatballs, we did macaroni cheese bites, we did um, garlic knots, and forgot what the last one was. But so we dipped it, and I could not. I don't know if I could handle that whole platter. It's got some of the world's spiciest peppers,
Mhm.
mixed with the culinary mind of ragu. They chose specifically which hot sauce or hot ones like line up that inspired each of the bottles. So
And you just showed me recipe cards a minute or
yeah.
two. Will we ever see a Chef Christian cookbook?
Ooh. Uh, I've always thought about it, and it's never a no, it's always a maybe until it's a yes.
It's never a no until it's a maybe, and then it's okay. Words to live by right there. So, two quick questions which have nothing to do with your excellence or the Ragu collaboration. And we're going to keep saying Ragu so the SEO and the algorithm pick it up. And so,
Ragu.
Ragu, Hot Ones, limited edition. Okay, there you go. Question one: when you're cooking, you're not on camera. Is there music playing in the kitchen, or do you need silence?
Weird statement. It depends. You know what I mean? I think if I'm cooking for a large amount, if I know I'm about to go down and cook like meal prep or for a party, I'm playing some music. I'm playing fast pace, nonstop. My shoulders are shaking. I'm cutting it with the same rhythm. But if it's just for me, it's dead silent. I like to just have window open, hear nature, and I'm cooking for myself, silence. I'm cooking for other people, we're going crazy.
And then last question tying in with that, what's the last concert that you went to for fun? And we know you work a lot of nights, you're a family man, you're in entertainment, not a lot of free time. But when you got
That's,
it, what's the last concert?
that's the last concert I went to. That's actually I don't remember. It's weird. I can tell you my first concert was Neil Diamond. That'll stick with me forever. Yeah, I know. Um, Sweet Caroline. My last concert, I want to say was. I might have to look it up. Is that something I have time for? I would just look it up. Oh.
Well, I'd rather follow up on that Neil Diamond thing. So around what year was that? I asked for a reason.
Oh, okay. No, I was fairly young because my cousin didn't want to go with her mom. And
Mhm.
so my mom was like, you know, you need someone, take my kid. And so I went with my auntie. We went to watch Neil Diamond at the Forum before it was Kia Forum. And I
Yeah.
don't remember how old I was, but I just remember as a kid when he sang Believer, I was like, why is he singing a Shrek song? But dude, that was a memorable concert, hence why I remember that versus the last concert I went to.
Fair enough. Neil Diamond, man of the many times. But bottom line is,
yes.
congrats on this collaboration. Looking forward to
Thank
what's
you.
to come from you. And keep up the great work on social media. It's really
Appreciate it, man.
inspiring to see somebody who's original, yet entertaining and can talk.
I hope you don't get tired of me.
Paltrocast.